Tomorrow marks 1 month since I started YouTube. This is gonna be a very different kind of video, and it's gonna be a little bit more like introspective than my usual content, being the reaction content and stuff. I like to have fun with y'all on stream, but I just want to reflect on my first month on YouTube and all the struggles that I've had and all the things that I've learned, and I feel like some of y'all can learn some stuff too. We watch a lot of videos on YouTube with all these really big content creators talking about their first month on YouTube and how they restarted a channel over and over and over again, and like they kind of they don't really give you an honest look on what it's like to first start on YouTube. No knowledge on like any type of editing software, no knowledge on any type of media marketing, anything, man. So I'm just gonna give you my raw experience, and without further ado, sit back, relax, and let's get into the video. YouTube, bro, Jesus Christ, man, this is such a grind, bro. Like, when I tell you, there's nothing that has tested my patience more than trying to make good content on YouTube, if you can even call what I make on YouTube good content. So I started making YouTube videos in April 14th of this year, 2025, and in my first month, today being the 13th of May 2025, I have exactly 65 subscribers actually. And I think that's pretty decent. I think that's pretty decent. Some of my videos do really well, maybe get like 500 views. That's really well to me. And some of my videos are stuck at 5 views or no views. And that's just the reality of it, man. And starting off not knowing anything about YouTube, it's like you're kind of a fish out of water, if that makes any sense. First, I want to talk about what works, right? What helps small channels grow on YouTube, or at least what helped me as a small channel, still being a small channel, get a little bit of traction on YouTube and on the algorithm. What really helps a small channel grow, right? I can break it down into 3 things: shorts, engagement, and consistency, right? So for shorts, you can use shorts to reach a whole lot of people. The first short that I posted was just supposed to be like a really joke short. It was something about like the man versus the gorilla debate that's been going on. And do you know how many views that got me? It got 1,400 views. And some of y'all might say that that's nothing, right? And I agree. Compared to a lot of content creators, 1,400 views is nothing. But before that, my highest views were about like 550 views on one of my videos. I think it was why being an introvert sucks. That's more than half of the highest view that I had ever gotten at that point, right? And shorts are mainly for reaching a new audience. All it takes is just one person to view your video for them to subscribe. It just takes one person, man. And it just takes one person to really mess with your personality a lot for them to decide that they want to tune into you every day. Which brings us into our next point, which is engagement, right? So engagement is how people interact with your views. So you need people to be liking and commenting and having engaging views, not just watching, maybe clicking on and then clicking back off and not really watching the video. You need people actually watching through and maybe even re-watching sometimes, and people liking and people commenting, bro. I've said that multiple times. I can't overstate the importance of this enough. Like you need people, you need to make content that people can engage with and want to come back to see, because that's what's going to push you forward in the algorithm. And that's going to be pretty hard, because when you first start off in YouTube, let's be honest, most of your videos are gonna suck, most of your thumbnails are gonna suck, and people might see them, and if they do see them, most people are just gonna click out, like, scroll past them and not give them any watch time. But that's part of the game, bro. That's part of the grind. You just have to look at what you got, look at the cards that you have, and then go back in the gym, man. Just start editing better, start, thinking about what you can do better, start brainstorming, bro. This is the time to think about if this is what you actually want to do. Do you want to, put your head down, put your nose to the grindstone, and then just keep pushing, man? Because if you do, your content is going to get better. You are going to be more consistent. You are going to have more ideas. You're going to get into more of a groove of things, and you're going to understand how the algorithm works a little bit better. But most people around like the first week tend to fall off and then stop posting YouTube videos because they get discouraged that they don't instantly blow up and have any, fame or traction. And now on to our third point, consistency, right? This is the hardest part for most people, bro. It's like you're not gonna see instant success, bro. You're not. You have to keep posting every day. Keep posting. When you have a video that gets 0 views, guess what? You still got to post again after that, bro, and again and again and again, and eventually at some point you're gonna lock in, bro. You're gonna get it. I haven't even reached that state yet, bro. I'm not acting like I'm no Mr. Beast out here, bro, but at some point you're gonna get into a groove of things and you're gonna start seeing results, right? You're gonna start seeing positive comments of people telling you to keep going, people telling you to grind. And I see all of y'all that be doing that for me, bro, and I generally appreciate y'all for doing it. All right, now let's get into some of the hard parts about being a YouTuber. Now where do I even begin, bro? We're gonna talk about view drops and the view jail in terms of the YouTube shorts, right? So I've noticed that when I post some shorts, like they'll get like 4,000 views in 20 minutes or less than 20 minutes, right? Or 4,500 views in less than 20 minutes. And then over time, those views start to disappear and disappear and disappear. And then the view count ends up at like 3,100. I'm not mad at it, but it's kind of disheartening when you see it initially be so high and then all your views start disappearing and you really don't even know why. But apparently what that is just YouTube filtering out all the, repeated views and views that they feel are inauthentic, even though, I don't know, I guess views that they feel aren't valid. I don't really know the criteria for why they do that. I don't have a clear answer for you, to be very honest. YouTube's weird like that, bro. That's all I can say. All I can tell you is just post, bro. Like, literally just post. I feel like the mental grind has to be the hardest part, bro, because, like, think about it, man. You're working full-time, bro, or you're in school, or some people are working full-time and in school, bro, and then you're trying to make this YouTube thing pop off, bro. In my case, I was just working full-time and then trying to do this at the same time. Bro, it's hard. I work at a hospital, bro. I work 7 to 7, bro, 12 hours a day, bro, you feel me? So I rarely get time to just be at home and chill and just, stream and then turn those streams into, YouTube videos and turn those YouTube videos into shorts. Bro, that's so hard for me. That takes me a lot of time. I found myself taking my laptop to work, and then on the 30-minute break that I get, 12 hours, mind you, on the 30-minute break that I get, I just sit down in my little room, bro, and then type on the computer, making some more content for y'all, bro. You feel me? That's the kind of grind that y'all gotta have, bro. And having to go to work is already hard enough, bro. Having to go to work and then come back and do this, bro. But then having to go to work, come back, do this, just check on your channel, and the video that you worked so hard all day yesterday only has 5 views. Bro. Oh my God, bro. Jesus Christ. That literally drives me insane, bro. Like, not going viral instantly, bro. It's like, they say, when you work hard, you're always gonna see success, bro. But it's like, yes, you will succeed if you work hard. But like, fuck, bro. Instant gratification is a bitch, bro. It's literally such a bitch, bro. Like, having to do this every day and then not hit 1,000 views on my like long form videos, it sucks. I'm not gonna lie, it kind of sucks, but it's part of the grind. It feels good that I have a organic group of people who repeatedly come to my videos, bro. I think it was something like 28 or 29 returning viewers. That's cool. That just lets me know that at least those 28 or 29 people really mess with me, bro. I like to think of it like 28 or 29 people standing in a room just listening to you speak. It's a whole lot of people, and then 65 of them decided that they wanted to subscribe to me. So I'll call that a win. And you know, tomorrow marks 1 month since I started YouTube. Man, it's been a journey, bro. I can't even say it's been long, but I feel like I've learned so much, bro. So much about like patience and about like just being able to, you know, put your head down and just keep working, bro. Literally just keep grinding, man. So, what am I gonna change moving forward, right? We're not where we want to be in this channel right now. So what am I gonna change moving forward? I think I'm gonna have to start making a better upload schedule, you know, with my shorts and with my long form content. I haven't really decided what that's gonna look like just yet, but best believe, I feel like it's the main thing affecting me was probably time management. You know, 12 hours a day working is not easy, bro. Especially in healthcare, you come back, you feel so drained, bro. So I feel like it's just, you know, time management. I work with streams a lot, bro. That's how I get most of my content, is reacting to streams. Which brings me into my next point of action, you know, reacting with a purpose and not just, you know, reacting to react, bro. And I want to actually start making my own videos, you know. I want to stop reacting to videos as much. I'm still gonna react to content, bro. Like, best believe I'll still give y'all the reactions, bro. Reactions is what, you know, brought me here in the first place. But I want to start making my own content as well, not just reacting to it. I want to start doing a lot more video essays, you know, giving you other people stuff to react to, not just, you know, sitting back and just, you know, draining other people's content. That's what I feel it's like. I feel like that's a little bit disingenuous of me. Even the people that I watch who, you know, react to a lot of content, you know, not Yo-Yo, Stanley Live, Cloud9, you know, Tommy NFG. Those guys also, you know, make content of their own that other people react to. So, you know, I would want to implement the same thing into my own channel as well. So, if you subbed, liked, or even watched my content, I just want to say right now, thank you for the support. You know, it took me a lot of effort to get here, and I'm not even where I want to be yet. My next goal is 100 subscribers, and then my goal after that is to be monetized. Hopefully by the end of the year, you know. YouTube be acting kind of funny, but you know, hopefully by the end of the year, fingers crossed. If we're not, then we're just gonna keep going, man. That's all we can do. But if you've supported me this far, I really just want to say thank you. We're doing a giveaway of $100 when we reach 100 subscribers. So if you want to stand a chance to win $100, make sure that you drop a like and subscribe, and then, you know, do the shit that I said at the beginning of the video, man. So without further ado, appreciate y'all for watching, man. Appreciate y'all for the support.